It's a blessing to welcome on one of the top prospects in 2021, the first guy in Minnesota's top 30 recruiting class, Treyton Thompson. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, let's just kind of get into this. This has been a crazy COVID year for everyone, but you were able to avoid this crazy recruiting year because you decided to commit about a year ago now. Sitting back though and just knowing that you've been committed, you don't have to go through this process. Take us through how it feels.
Yeah, I knew right away after my official visit that like Minnesota is home to me.
Mhm.
There's many reasons why I chose Minnesota, and I'm not saying that any other school is bad. It's just it fit perfect for me. Being with like the COVID year and being like able to be committed already, it takes a lot of stress off your shoulders and a lot of weight, and it just lets you kind of like back and forth grade when you enjoy playing basketball just to play it. That's
Mhm.
kind of how I feel. I'm just very uplifted and just enjoying every moment of it.
Every recruit looks for the home feel, and yours is literally at home in
hmm
Minnesota. What's it going to be like being able to play in front of family, in front of friends, and just where kind of be the hometown hero?
Yeah, so both my grandpas actually have they got diagnosed with cancer, so that's also one of the reasons
Mhm.
why I chose to stay at Minnesota at home. They love basketball. They're always watching it. They're trying to come in and watch me. Same with both my grandparents, my other grandparents. And same with my family. I mean, we grew up a basketball family. We love even when we're not playing. Like we'll have like off weekends when I'm not playing or my brother's not playing. But then we'll just go and seriously just watch random tournaments. And um, being here at Indiana, it kind of made me realize the importance of being home and my family
Mhm.
because they're not able to come watch me and like it definitely impacts me because I can't see them when in the stands and like, oh yeah, there's my mom and dad, and I know they're supporting me. I do know that they're like watching on a live stream, but it just doesn't feel the same.
And take us through that because this is a thing that more and more guys are starting to move out earlier. We usually used to be always for college, but now guys are moving out after the freshman, sophomore, junior year to live on your own, go to a different place and play a national schedule, which personally I think is a great move for all guys, get you ready for college. But take us through that original move. Like, why did you feel this was the right move for you last year?
Um, Mainly just the level of basketball.
Mhm.
Um, Alexander did a great job developing me and making me realize that there's bigger and better basketball out there. And as being like a very competitive person, have a I just want to play at the top level all the time. And
Mhm.
being here, it really opened up my eyes and like where I'm actually at in the world. So I think it's a great opportunity for anybody that wants to go to the prep route. Um, I seriously have no doubts that it's one of the better things to do.
You went to Lumiere, which is one of the best prep programs out there in the entire country. National schedule, but let's just go through
Mhm.
last year. Big time season. Take us through the ups and downs of the year.
Yeah, so I think we only lost three times actually. We were playing pretty good. We were playing with six guys. So like the six guys that were playing were really well bonded. And we knew exactly where the pass was going to be from the other guy. Just a really good chemistry of the team. We went into the Chick-fil-A Classic. We were playing good. We beat Prolific,
Mhm.
feeling really good. And then we went in and actually took an L to Hillcrest. It was a very physical game. I haven't played that many big people in my life. It definitely is awesome experience. I learned a lot, and then going forward, played Sunrise. Sunrise is basically the same as us. I mean, very hard nosed team. Loves their defense, and then defense translates to offense. So that was a great game as well. We ended up losing that. Um, the games before that, we played really well and everything like that. It's just we didn't. It's not that we didn't play very well. It's just they're a really tough team. And then we went on, and then what was it? The hoop hall. We played Prolific again. They had their big man back. I can't think of his name now.
Oh,
Anyways, I had to guard him, and it was a great experience all around. He's not just a big man; he's more of an outside player as well. So it made me have to make my game a little bit different and not being just sitting in the paint guarding a big man. I have to go out and actually contest threes and stuff. And so that just opened my eyes a lot more as well. So just it's awesome being here. I love being at a prep school.
And you guys were going to head into Geico that said as a fifth seed, we're going to play the fourth seed. I believe it was Oak Hill. That would have been a big time season for you guys going out there to Geico, but you guys were a little bit, as you said, shorter, not as deep as maybe other teams were. But you guys' chemistry was elite, and all six of you guys were big time pro players. Jeremy Sochin, Kamari Lance, the list goes on. How close were you guys, and just what was that bond, and how was it like seeing the way you guys grew over the course of the season together?
Yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking not being able to play, or at least knowing that I'm going to play my last final games with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Denham and Jaden, they were like right next door to us. So like me and Jeremy, we'd have Thursday night fight nights. We'd like clear the beds out and then we'd like wrestle each other, and it was it was just having fun with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kamari, he was in a different dorm, so I'm not as well bonded with him. Besides basketball wise, I don't really I really wish that he was in our dorm so I'd get to know him a little bit better. Wendell, he stayed to himself a little bit, but he was just that type of player that like if you're on his team, he's going to do everything he can to make you successful. He's actually probably one of the better point guards I've ever played with. It's crazy how well he can just put the ball in your hands and how well he made me look.
Absolutely. Now you guys do have the ultimate goal going back to Geico. Hopefully there is at this upcoming season. And you guys have once again reloaded roster. Guys moved out. Jeremy's out overseas this year. Kamara's out in prolific. Some moves have happened. New guys come in. How do you like this team so far?
Yeah, it's we're definitely more athletic, way more athletic. We have way more bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's making my game grow a lot more. I'm starting to play more. I'm actually starting at the three position now instead of the five.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I get to do a little bit more guard work. Still not letting me come off screens though, which is dumb. But yeah, it's just our team very, very talented. We have young players, but like our coach says, it's not an excuse. But yeah, we're very well bonded. We actually do culture and cold tubs on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So, being vulnerable with your teammates, that's a big part of coming together and being connected. So there's multiple times when like we're all just sitting in the room and we're talking about like our stories and stuff, and it was getting kind of emotional, but that's good. So I feel like we're connected, maybe not as connected as last year, but the athleticism and the will to work hard as well. I mean, every morning, we have like 3 or 4 guys that are in the gym at 5:30 in the morning every day. So that makes me like really happy that we have a really good team that wants to work hard.
And you personally, we know that that jump between junior and senior year is huge for guys. Not necessarily just the game style, but that's a new kind of leadership role. You're the older guy in the locker room. You're more experienced. How have you seen the way you've kind of taken a leadership aspect now this year as opposed to last year?
Yeah, it's a lot different. Last year I could just kind of stay to myself and like take orders more than give. But this year I have to change how I think and how I talk to players. Like at the start of the year, I had the right mindset and like what I wanted to say to people. It's just how I say it. I started off bad with a couple of my teammates, and I mean, it's not that I'm trying to be like that. It's just I'm trying to make you better as a team, like as a player as well. So yeah, it's just how you talk to other people. That's a big part of my leadership here, and just basically just leading by example. I've been through it all already this last year, so I know what it takes to be one of the better teams in the nation and produce. So I kind of try leading by example every time, not giving into being tired and stuff like that, just the little things. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to do.
A lot of the teams like you guys are out there playing national schedules typically. They go out to play in City of Palms. They're You guys playing the Bass Pro, you guys playing the Chick-fil-A Classic or John Wall, all these different tournaments. And with COVID, a lot of these have been shut down for this upcoming year. How are you guys maintaining this, and how do you guys kind of plan to play out a lot of games and still play a lot of games in your schedule?
Yeah, we're very fortunate here at Lalu. We have 200 people that are enrolled in the school.
Mhm.
I'd like to say half are boarding students. So we're doing, and we're very strict about COVID and stuff. That's why we haven't been playing in those early tournaments.
Mhm.
This Friday is actually supposed to be our first game, but we've been very, very strict about where we go. We can't really go off campus, so it's been a long 3 months just sitting here. Um, can't we have to wear masks all day? It's very, very strict. But I see why it is, trying to keep us safe. But overall, once we start getting going, the boarding school students are going back after November 20th. So then it's just going to be the basketball players here. So then we'll start getting in more into our season with them gone, and we're all pretty excited to start playing.
You know, out of the games you currently know you guys might be playing, who are you most excited to go up against?
So they've been talking about the Nike like school thing
Hmm.
where like we play like no, not Hillcrest, like Sunrise,
Hmm.
uh Montverde, Oak Hill. And it kind of makes you like start like smiling right away when you start hearing those names, because the competition is just going to be just amazing. And it's I don't know, it really battle tests you for college. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited to play like Montverde. Um, really excited to play Kendall and my actually future teammate from
Hmm.
Sunrise. So that's going to be really fun. They have like Zach. That's going to be fun. Uh, yeah, it's just a lot of really big names in one tiny little league. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, for you personally, I know rankings don't matter a lot to you, and obviously they don't matter to me. A lot of people don't, but we do know there was quite a big drop this past year, dropping from the top 100 to top 150 now. I can imagine that does
Mm-hmm.
just seeing that put a little bit of chip on your shoulder. And when you talk about going to these events where there are all these guys, some that are be ranked higher than you, how's your mentality changed? Is that kind of put a chip on your shoulder heading to these games now?
Yeah, my mentality hasn't changed. I actually haven't looked at the rankings in over a year or so. I stopped caring, um, because no matter how much you look at the rankings, they're not going to change unless you go out there and you do something about it. So I've just kept the mentality that like, oh, I just kept saying to myself like, oh, you need to get better. You need it every day. You need to like. It's just a lot of just repetitive stuff. So yeah, I don't really care about rankings because anything could happen. I mean, you see it all the time. Like top 200 kid goes in and just starts cooking on people. It doesn't matter. I don't think they matter at all.
Couldn't agree more. And let's get back into this commitment process. You're going to Minnesota in 1 year from now. How do you like to
Mhm.
grow, and what do you want to improve on before you get to campus?
Um, I want to gain a lot. I want to gain weight.
Mhm.
That's my priority right now. I'm a little bit under than what I'm supposed to be. That's because I know every basketball player out there, they recognize this. As soon as they start like practicing hard, their weight just starts dropping, and I'm on like a 6,000 calorie diet,
Mhm.
and that may not seem like a lot, but that is a lot of food. You
Mhm.
gotta just you're constantly eating. But I'm slowly getting up more into weight, getting around the 200 range. So I'm trying to get close to 200 by the time 200 like five ish by the time I'm getting from Minnesota, and then with their like programs and stuff, I'll be able to get probably up to like 210, 215 by the time the season probably starts, and maybe even more. So that's what I've been really focusing on. Coach Patino, he's been talking to me about playing the four at the start, and then slowly, gradually trying to get me to be more of a three.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm so excited about this year, is because I'm going to be playing more of the three. So that is making me just very excited to be able to just go into Minnesota and being like having the experience of being a three. So overall, gain weight and just work on my game a little bit.
Now, when you look at your overall projection, getting out there as a freshman, what does Coach Pitino expect from you? Does he expect you to be in the starting, competing for the starting job, power forward, or even maybe the three backup role? What does he kind of see you doing for your freshman year?
He hasn't really talked to me about a bunch like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reason why I came here. I don't want to be one of those guys that goes to Minnesota and then sits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our coach talks a lot about when you get to college, you're not going to be the star. You're not going to be the person making all the baskets. There's some people that do that, like
Mm-hmm.
Cole Anthony. He went to North Carolina and he was the star right away. But I'm not Cole Anthony. I'm Treyton. I'm not even close to that good, and I know that. But playing defense is where you're going to get a spot to play. And over the year, I've been watching a lot more college basketball, and the freshmen that have been playing, they're the people that are able to sit in the stance and guard the ball and just do everything right. The hustle plays, diving on the ball, getting rebounds. That's how they play. So being here at Lalu, where we take pride in our guarding, I'm hoping to being able to be a starter, if not being the sixth man or seventh.
Mm-hmm.
But really, overall, I'm just going to come in and just work my ass off and playing defense.
And this was where, I mean, I read some about you and some people were wondering, he always been known as a scorer, but you always dropped off a little bit in terms of averages by playing at a school like Lumiere this past summer with
Mm-hmm.
AAU. But a lot of people didn't notice this, and some people talked about it though, but your defense has improved a lot, but also your passing is a big aspect. And you mentioned the key part there saying a lot of guys don't go into college as a go-to scorer. There are handful selecting 20, 25 guys in this class that do that. But a lot of guys need to find a role to carve out minutes for, and you've mastered that. You've got better at passing, defensive play. How do you continue to grow on those kind of things throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, I think it was Kobe that said it. He tries getting. I think it was him. He said he tries getting his teammates going before he gets going,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of adopted that saying, and I've just been trying to get my teammates to get a few buckets before I get one, and it doesn't make me mad. And like, yeah, I don't really care for being like the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm mature enough to know that what I do on the court doesn't need to be recognized by anybody else besides my coach. So yeah, getting people going, not just passing energy. I want to be the loudest person on the court all the time, talking all the time. But yeah, just energy, getting everybody going is one of my main focuses.
And let's go into your 2021 recruiting class. You and Kenny are both committed and signed now, but there is a lot of rumors. We know the guy that's number one in the country right now, Chet Holmgren, the hometown player as well, is you guys are in the running between you guys, Gonzaga, a few of the schools. What would it be like to add him to the mix?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that a lot. It'd be a great pickup for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just we have so many big guys now. We're missing out on a lot of guards. We don't really have many guards coming in. If you look at the class below me, 2022, Trey Holloman, he could possibly come. He basically lives at Minnesota. He works there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great pickup. Tamlin Lipsey, Eli King, all the kids that I played with this last summer, they seem like the type of kid that would like to come and play for our home team. So yeah, he'd be a great person to add to the team. Not saying that we don't want, like, I don't want him.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be awesome playing him in practice. That would definitely make me a lot better. But it's kind of concerning on how many big guys we have.
Mm-hmm. Now, besides Chet, are there other guards? You mentioned the guard aspect. Are there other guys that you either want to play with or the coach Pitino talks about trying to add on in 2021?
He doesn't really talk to me about who we're trying to add on. I'll send him a text every once in a while if I like see a player. I'll be like, hey, have you guys looked at him?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time they're like, yeah, we're looking at him. But yeah, I don't really know. I actually probably should ask him.
Without a doubt. Now, when you look at this Minnesota group, and this is a state that's not always known as one of the most dominant states, and not in the California or the Texas categories. But right now, you guys have the number one player in the country, as well as I think there's 4 or 5 of you guys in the top 100 really should be kind of guys. 2022 is the top ranked players. You guys just have a lot of talent in Minnesota right now. What's like seeing the rise of the Minnesota basketball?
Yeah, it's a lot has been going on in Minnesota. I could say that.
Mhm.
Um, Jalen Jalen kind of started it off for everybody. Um, I'd say yeah, Jalen, Dawson, Dane. They just we have a pretty good row of classes that are doing some pretty big things now. So yeah, there's been a lot of change, a lot of sparks been going up in Minnesota. Um, it's starting to be one of those states that is known for basketball now, not just hockey.
Mhm.
Hockey, I don't like hockey at all. Um, but yeah, it's been going up, starting to get our name out there, so that's good.
And this is where we see some colleges start to rise up and become elite powerhouses is when their states are filled with talent. And that's what you guys have done now. You commit, you're going to stay home. You mentioned some of those other names, especially in 2022, that you're trying to recruit would be nice additions. You mentioned guys like Eli, Trey, those kind of guys. How much of
Mhm.
an influence and how much of a priority is Coach Pitino wanting to kind of get hometown guys to stay home?
Yeah, he's been trying to do that ever since Jarvis, Daniel, and Gabe have committed to Minnesota and are there.
Mhm.
But it kind of died off, and I could see that, and I wanted to make an impact and try like making a statement to everybody. Like Minnesota is a great school. They have great facilities, great programs, and you look at Daniel and how he went from freshman to sophomore year, and
Mhm.
how he just became. Now he's a first draft pick probably, and he's just you can just see the development, and that's what I say to a lot of people. Like I don't think it really matters where you go to college.
Mhm.
Um, what matters is your mindset and how bad do you want it. Um, Obviously, Daniel wanted it pretty badly. I mean, you just look at his growth; it's crazy.
Who all was in the running for you? I know you had offers from Iowa, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, and whatnot. Who was kind of the schools they were considering?
I was definitely considering Texas Tech as a big one.
Mhm.
Um, they're very known for their defense. Um, yeah, if you look back at the Texas Tech versus Virginia game, it's just it was defensive stop after defensive stop. It was really might have not been fun to watch for anybody else, but to me, it was a very enjoyable game. So them because the defense and how they played. Uh, Iowa was a pretty big one. I really liked how they got out and passed the ball. I remember watching them in practice. They could go like 5 trips without even dribbling the ball once, and it was kind of mind boggling on how they did that.
Mhm.
Um, Oklahoma, they have a pretty good pick and pop shooter that they're resembling me to. So that was one of the reasons why I was considering them. But yeah, overall, Minnesota just hit home.
And we saw you this past AU season for the brief amount that COVID allowed you guys to do. Played deal in Minnesota, had a great team. You were part of Tatum Lipsey coming back from his injuries. He played with him. He played with a lot of these top players we mentioned earlier. So what was it like to getting back on the court and playing basketball again?
Yeah, it was fun being committed already. He kind of just got to play.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I wasn't going to get the ball a lot because everybody needs their offers and stuff, which I totally get. I didn't really care. I was just out there. I just find it fun to just run up and down the court. I don't need to be scoring the ball or anything. I just find it fun to just run up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but playing with that level of talent, it shows you like where you are again. Um, but when we needed like a couple buckets, when we needed a stop, then I started like, okay, I'll be here to get the stop for us, get the energy back going, and just be a leader again.
Now you are a lot of people say 6'11". There hasn't been too many official measurements that I put out recently. Is that where you're at right
Mm-hmm.
now? Have you grown any?
Yep,
Where are you at?
6'11", not growing anymore. I don't think.
And so you have 6'11". You go into Minnesota, and right now you say obviously you're going to play your role. You can play defense, you can pass, going to score some. Long-term development wise, do you see yourself becoming more of a scorer down the road? Is that kind of what you want to see yourself turn into?
Yeah. Again, like Amir Coffey as well. When
Hmm.
he came in, he was more of a three man, and then they transitioned him into more of the two or the one. And um, that's one of the reasons why I like Minnesota is how they can transform players. So yeah, I'm trying to come in as more of a four, maybe no, not really a five, a four,
Hmm.
um, and then try to transition in maybe to a three or a two if I can. And it's a long shot, a lot of ball handling for sure, getting my shot down a little bit better. But overall, that I just like how they can transform players.
Now, I have to ask you about this. This past summer, AAU wise, you started displaying a new thing, the headband. Is this something we can expect this upcoming season at Lumiere?
No, Coach Pat's not letting me wear that. He says I'm trying to get too much attention. So I understand. It wasn't really one of those things that I needed. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not going to be able to wear that anymore.
In college, is that something you might consider?
Um, maybe later on in college, but
Hmm.
really when I first get there, I don't want to be known as the flashy player. I
Hmm.
want to be known as the player that's going to lock you up on defense or something like that. So yeah, probably maybe later, maybe like junior, senior year.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One is I was like wrapping up discussing legacy, and I think all guys want to build themselves as some form of legacy. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieve both on and off the court?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about this.
Hmm.
Um, I take a lot of pride in um, talking to the community
Hmm.
um, and showing everybody that I'm more than just a basketball player that they like to watch. So that like includes like kids will always be DMing me and texting me and stuff like that and calling me. They'll always be talking to me and like people always ask me like, Train, doesn't it get old on how people like are constantly asking the same exact question? And it doesn't because in like fourth and fifth grade, I was that type of kid that I would like add a bunch of people on Snapchat and try like asking what I can do to be better.
Hmm.
And so I put myself in their shoes and I see like if I got left on red and like they didn't like message me back, it would have made me feel pretty bad. But I remember there was one player that actually he played for Minnesota. I forgot his name, but he messaged me back and he told me everything to do, and it made me love the game a little bit more. So whatever I can do to make some kid that is feeling down or needs a little bit of direction, if I can kind of lead him in the right path, that's all I really need to do. And it's just gonna make it's not just gonna make his day; it's gonna make mine as well.
That's awesome, man. My final thing for you, give Minnesota fans your three biggest goals you have set for your Minnesota career.
Um, Making basketball probably the top sport at Minnesota because football is kind of taking over.
Hmm.
Um, Creating a legacy of being kind to everybody and working really hard, um, and just making another legacy of making kids want to stay home.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today. Congrats on that commitment, man. I can't wait to see what God's got next for you, man.
Thank you, thank you,
Of course, you always welcome on. God bless.
thank you.